in listen-only mode.
Good morning, and thanks for coming to our webinar today. This is Jim Guinan, Annuity Sales Director here at IAMS, and today our topic is prospecting the 401k market. This is one of my favorite subjects and areas of helping you write annuity business. So I'll be going through some different ways to prospect rollovers, and then also talk about in-service withdrawals. That's the other part of that market that I think is untapped. So with that, I will talk with you in a moment. I did want to visit with you about some new things going on and updates for you. I will also be recording the webinar today, so if for some reason you can't stay for the whole event, want to listen to it later, we will have it available, and as we always try to record our webinars. First of all, I want to talk to you about our academy, and we do have another installment of our Life and Annuity Academy that is coming up in May. We've already filled that session up, so we've already invited the producers that we're going to have, but we do have a new date scheduled September 6th through the 8th. That will be actually here in Omaha at our new office, our new brokerage office here in West Omaha. So we are already sending out registrations, so you're able to register for that now. We'll be glad to review your application you send in. Again, this is a 2-day training. As you can see, some of the topics that we go through, our goal with the Life and Annuity Academies has always been and still remains to have as many qualified producers as we can, individuals that are writing life and annuity business and who want to grow that business. So if you're new to the insurance industry or new to annuities, this may not be a training for you at this point, but certainly over time we can work with you and you start to write some business with us. We'll be glad to consider you for the academy. Usually around 35 to 40 agents will be in attendance, and it is one of our most successful programs here at Insurance Agency Marketing. I will now ask if you would be interested in getting more information about the Academy. And I will launch that poll question right now, so feel free to answer yes or no. If you've been to an Academy before, as you're very familiar with it, we usually will consider your re-invite to that. I guess you could say if it's been a couple years. Usually inside of a year, we don't want to have the agents back yet. We do update. We will be talking a lot about the DOL, of course, as the year goes on and things become more clear as to what is actually going to happen with the DOL. But I know those are two new topics that we've been incorporating in our academy, is some discussion about the DOL and also about our IAMS Wealth Management. And so please answer yes or no. After the webinar is over, we will send you a link with more information and a sample agenda. But again, this is a producer event held in conjunction with top producers. So feel free to respond to that question if you would. Okay, moving on. For those of you that are new to IAMS, we are unique, I think, in our new producer bonus. I have been recently shopping at our competition, and I've yet to find anyone that does a bonus for as little of production as this. So this is what you can expect when you first start to write with IAMS. In your first 180 days, I should say, as you hit those levels, if that's where you end up, those are some things that you can look to be rewarded with. So we appreciate your business coming to us as a new producer. We know that you have a lot of choices, and you do. There is a lot of competition out there. Just here in Omaha alone, when I started in the brokerage business 17 years ago, there were only about 3 IMOs in Omaha, and now there's about 7. So a lot of competition, and we know you have a lot of places that that want your business. So we want to reward you for the different levels of production that you can get to in your first 6 months of writing business with us. Okay, and also to add to that, 2 other programs I think are very lucrative, can be lucrative for you. The Referred Producer Program is our way of saying thanks for referrals that you send our way. And so, again, once the producer contracts, we will give you a bonus. As they continue to do business, you would earn, in essence, an override on their business. And this is unlimited. So you could have a number of people that you've referred to us here writing life or annuity. And you can see that there's something that you can look as an ongoing residual income. Our marketing reimbursement program continues to do well. We've been paying out quite a few dollars this year already. And as you can see, for this is dollars that are thrown into a marketing account. And so for your fixed index business, your life target premium, your single premium life, all has a conversion for dollars that go into the marketing reimbursement. And then you can use that to help with expenses for example, E&O or lead program, a seminar program, anything that's business related. The nice thing is that the balance continues to grow as you write your business, and it doesn't have to be cleared out at the end of the year. So it's not a use it or lose it program. So you could build it up over the course of a couple years. And then if you have a big expense that you have, let us know. Contact us here at IAMS. We'll direct you to the person that can help you with that and tell you how much you have in there and what you can use it for. Our creative department has also been very busy. Lately, they have been fielding a lot of questions about email newsletters. And also, I know personally, I've been getting a lot of interest in website help. So Jen and Josh, they do a great job in that department. If you need help with branding your business, ways to reach out to your clients that you haven't used before, maybe you have a website, but you want to see if you can improve it, give them a call and they'll be glad to work with you and help you reach out to individuals, clients, or prospects in ways that you haven't done before. Our Top Producers Escape is well on its way. And again, this is our Top Producers trip that is an 18-month qualification. Down at the bottom of the screen, you can see that it started last July and it runs through the end of this year. So it's an 18-month, and it's a combination of any of those premiums or any of those premiums from those products. As you can see, if you're just writing annuity, it's $2 million of annuity premium. Still, we do give you credit for all business the same way. So whether it's index or immediate annuity or fixed rate, it all counts. So really, for the time and the amount of business, I think it's a good value. So 2018 Top Producers Escape will be held in February, at the end of February, in Scottsdale, Arizona at Boulders Resort and Spa. All right. I know I mentioned something about IAMS Wealth Management here a little bit ago. We've started to see some growth in this market. Again, back last year in 2016, a decision was made to develop our own registered investment advisor. And you may have been seeing some webinars or emails about this from us, and you've seen Charles Hiring Jr.'s name on there. He is in charge of this area. He has some help too. And we are starting to grow this quite a bit. Whether the DOL ruling goes through or is modified in some way, regardless, IAMS Wealth Management is here to stay. So if you want to look at ways to increase your revenue, as you can see, we in visiting with other producers that have that designation, that license, I should say, the IAR, the Series 65, they've not only seen their business grow, of course, directly from that, which is by advisory fees, but now they are the advisor for all assets and have increased their fixed business, their fixed annuity business, for example. So it does allow you to reach out to a new type of client that you've not been before. If you've just been selling fixed annuities, you may have been focusing a lot on clients that are, let's say, 55 and above. That would now change. Also improved client retention and, of course, better relationships. So if you would like to get some information about IAMS Wealth Management, would like to get something sent to you, or maybe a phone call from Charles to just kind of tell you more about how this could work for you and what's involved. I don't have time here to go into a lot of it, but it's an area that will continue to grow for us in the years to come, regardless of what's going on in the current market and the current situation. So it's truly a whole nother line of business that could really make a change for you. So if you're interested in getting that, please answer yes to the poll question. We'll make sure we get you a phone call, or perhaps just some information initially to let you know what's involved in that. Okay, so let's go into our topic today. Again, I appreciate your patience up till now. I know many of you are familiar with IAMS, and many of the things I go through are things that, those are topics and subjects that you already know. But for many of you that are new, you may not. So we want to make sure you know who we are and what we do. All right, so some statistics here regarding 401k plans. According to the Investment Company Institute, as of June 2014, 401k plans held an estimated 4.7 trillion in assets. Again, that was just 3 years ago, and that represented nearly 20% of the 24 trillion in U.S. retirement assets. And by comparison, 10 years prior to that, total 401k assets were about 2.2 trillion. It's a lot of money. So how many Americans have a 401k plan? Well, some information that I found back in 2013 said nearly 80% of full-time workers had access to employer-sponsored retirement plans, and more than 80% of those participated in the plan, which is really good to hear. Also, though, in companies with more than 500 employees, the numbers are a little bit higher. 89% have access to the plan, and 90% are participating. All right, so what is the average plan account balance? Just to give you some ideas, and again, this is an average, which I know can be skewed a little bit, but according to both Fidelity and Vanguard, for baby boomers ages 50 to 67, that number was just under 127,000. And if the individual's over 55, the average balance was 150,000 plus. That does make sense. As we're older, we've had more time for it to grow. We also have sometimes the ability to contribute more money. Also, interestingly, over 60% of these 401k plan balances were invested directly or indirectly in equity securities. And most recently, a few years back, it was even higher than that, 64%. All right, so just a brief recap here before I go on. More money today is being held in 401k plans than ever before, and more workers have access to and are participating in these plans, and the balances are well over $100,000, the average balance. So the other reality that we're seeing out in the marketplace today, though, is that people are changing jobs, whether they are, made to change jobs, something forced upon them, or making changes themselves. So with those job changes come, of course, decisions. So in 2013, the Department of Labor reported that the median job tenure is 4.6 years. And since people are changing jobs often, one of the decisions they face is what to do with their retirement plan. So they may be asking, do I leave it where it's at least for a while, or do I move it to a new plan or to an IRA? So with that, what are the advantages? All right, so the advantages of leaving the retirement money in the plan, maybe for a little while at least, would be a couple things here. Well, one is performance. Certainly, the individual's been at that employer for a number of years. The plan has done fairly well, had a lot of options, seen a lot of growth, and so why move it? Why would you make a change? I mean, just on performance alone, if it's done well, and you're happy with the fund choices, so to speak, then why make a move? The other reason would be just convenience. I know familiarity with the plan. There may be a particular fund or allocation strategy that's been working well, and it's just something that they're used to using that plan. There may also be some specific tax advantages. For example, for leaving it, especially if it's an older plan. Again, there may be a number of smaller reasons that I'm not bringing up here now as to why one may want to leave it there. But those are some top ones I think that come to mind. Some disadvantages of leaving retirement money in a plan from a former employer would be that the investment options may be limited, or they may be heavily in company stock. So this would be really the opposite of the convenience or performance, would be simply there weren't a lot of options. Maybe that's also why, as we look back in the previous slides, why bigger companies who have many times options for more choices in their retirement plans have higher participation. But it could be that. It could be the plan fees are too high. I know plan fees can be high in 401k plans. Another reason would be the individual's no longer at the employer, so there's more of a disconnect, a lack of control or access. Depending on how that employee left that position, if it wasn't on good terms, they may have a feeling that they don't also want to have the retirement money there anymore. Okay, the other one could be a lack of a good fixed only option other than a money market. So as you probably know, there are loads of funds in these 401k plans, lots of stock options, mutual fund options for growth or balanced. Oftentimes, the only thing that really guarantees the principal or has very little risk is a money market account, which may not earn a lot, but again, it's something. And so, but there's not that fixed rate type annuity product that offers maybe a 3 to 3.5% guaranteed rate. So you know where I'm leading with this, but that's another reason that as some people get older, if they're leaving the employer when they're 65 and they may be working in the market or the job market not much longer, they may want to look at more guarantees and safety. Okay, so after a employee moves away, and let's say they take a new position. For example, their new employer may not have a 401k plan, or they may not allow them to move the 401k to the new 401k. So they may have to move it to a traditional IRA or want to. So how can we help them? Well, as insurance producers, we can offer them either a fixed or fixed indexed annuity product. And the reasons why, simply put, guarantee of principal. There are no fees or expenses other than possibly an income rider. But as far as the product design itself, there are no fees. They could participate in some growth of the market without downside risk, which describes an indexed annuity. They would have 100% control of the account. and choice of products. So the individual has choices of products that could be as short as 3 years. They might be as long as 14 years if there's a high bonus involved. So they can choose among product designs, benefits, features. And so if they want to have a shorter product with high liquidity options, they can do it. The other thing would be adding riders. As I mentioned, in most instances, there is a cost to having an income rider. In most instances, you can choose between products that have them and don't. And so you could decide if you want to have that cost on your retirement account. Okay, some product choices here. Well, as you know, and if any of you have talked with me, there's a lot of choices out there. We have so many carriers with so many products. I just thought I would mention a couple that we see very good results from. Again, these may not be companies you're familiar with or that you like. We do have, and I'll name several, but when we talk about fixed index products that are designed for growth versus income, there are some clear choices, I guess I could say. When we talk about income, one of those that comes to mind is Athene. You may have heard of their Ascent series. This is a product that has flexibility and design for income. There are choices for growth and choices for income payout. And we've seen really good results. So when we run comparisons on companies throughout, whether it's something that the individual wants to roll over, for example, in the case of a 401k and wants to roll that to a traditional IRA and then have income right away, the Athene product will provide an income rider payout as early as 30 days. It can wait longer. It could be 10 years down the road. But they do have some choices in their growth. Very competitive on the roll-up, as we say, in the growth period. On the payout, they can choose between a guaranteed or something that has a participating payout. And as we run through different ages, this product does come up in the top 3, 4, 5, regardless of the age of the person. So that's why I brought it up. If you've not seen Athene's product line or would like to get some more information, certainly let me know. We can help you with that. Now, when we talk about accumulation, something that doesn't even have an income rider, but would have some liquidity to it, of course, would be AIG's Power Select Builder. And utilizing the Merrill Lynch strategy, which is a uncapped strategy. You can write it as a 1-year or 2-year crediting. They do have competitive capped, but especially the uncapped strategies, the growth on this product, the growth potential on this product is very good. So I think when we've seen recent illustrations of comparisons going back testing, as they say, this has returned anywhere from 5 to 7%. So again, there are products. This is where we can help you and guide you. If you have an annuity marketer that you work with, or you've visited and you want to know, what is the best for what my client can get in these areas, we'll help you. Some other products that come up on the radar for accumulation besides AIG, Great American has a 7-year product. American Equities Choice Series is also very strong. And in the income market, too many to name because a lot of it depends on the age and the deferral period, but Athene is strong, F&G is strong, AIG, American Equity, and there's a number of other ones. Again, it depends on the age and how soon they need to take the income. All right, so if you'd like to get more information on Athene or the AIG product, I'm going to launch a poll question right now. Please let us know if we can get you out some information more about each of those products. We can get you a brochure, current rates. If it's something that either one of these, by the way, can illustrate, and most of our companies today do illustrate the hypothetical of growth as well as the income. So we'd be glad to get you some information. If you've got a case you're working on right now and you want to take a look at, what's strong in the income market, or my client doesn't care about that, they just want more deferral, they want to grow the money for a number of years and then look at, taking a payout down the road, we can help you with that too. So we certainly appreciate your response to that. I'll close this out in just a moment, but again, we can get you any product info you want, illustration, rates, and if you want to get appointed, if you're not already appointed with either of these companies, pretty easy to do that too. So, all right, well, we appreciate your response on that. So moving on, let's talk about prospecting here a little bit, because that's what this is all about, is leading up to. I mean, we have the knowledge, we know people have money, we know it's out there, but all of that's useless unless we have someone to talk to. So some ideas of where to prospect for the 401k and other plan rollovers. And I say that because we can help people with, when they're retiring or moving employers, we can help them with whatever plan they have. Okay, so the number one thing that I think is very important here is, of course, to make sure that we visit with our existing clients. I know that many of you do, and you may do it more than annual that you seeing them, but you might ask your client when the last time, if you haven't asked them this, you might ask them about, we keep track of job changes, but you might visit with them about if they're going to be making any job changes in the near future, or if they have in the past. And you might say, you remember, I know you've changed your job about 2 years ago. Did you have a retirement plan there? And if so, what did you do with that? I think we sometimes may overlook that. So keeping track of our clients' job changes could lead to a big sale down the road. And maybe not today, but maybe in a couple of years, and you plant that seed to make sure that they visit with you before they visit with anyone else. And likewise, in the way that we ask for referrals, we want to incorporate pretty much the same type of question. Okay, so who do you know that's has recently changed jobs, was laid off, maybe they retired? Do you know if they have anyone that helps them with their retirement and needs to visit with me? Or do you know someone that's approaching age 62, approaching age 65, or in the case of me, 67, before they can maximize or get the best benefit of Social Security? Those are key ages that people are looking at, exiting the market. So do you know anyone that's going to be retiring soon, or had you heard if their company's closing and maybe getting laid off? Those are all opportunities for 401k rollovers. And again, they may not have anyone today, but we want to plant that seed for tomorrow, because again, the rollover could be $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Another area that I think we don't think of as much is business owners that you may personally know, especially those that might have a number of employees. And for another webinar, of course, I talk about a pension webinar that American National has great ideas for talking to business owners. But again, these would be people that that may have employees that are leaving, or that recently they hired. Again, I don't have the statistic in here, but if the 401k balance is low, it's a high probability that when they leave an employer, they cash it out. But if the balance is, I want to say it's 5,000 or above, maybe it's 10,000, statistically, people will usually look for a way to roll it over. I realize that's not a big sale, but again, we get these individuals as clients. That's what's important. So business owners, another thing you can do is you can call companies directly. You can go directly into HR departments, try to crack into a company that you may have heard maybe has recently laid off a number of people, or just, if you're familiar with a particular type of company from your past experience in businesses, maybe you know a lot about mechanics, how to visit with mechanics, or maybe a particular type of retail store, and you understand how they work, or you may have connections from that in the past, calling into companies directly. It might give you a lead or two. And then, of course, there are lead companies, many of them, and sorting through who are the best can be a task, but there are some lead companies that will at least give you the demographic of people that could be rolling over, and it might be worth sending out an ad or a mail piece every week to a number of these to see what might happen. Again, they're not the most qualified. The most qualified is getting referrals. All right, here's some websites that you can use in your search for 401k potential. And the first one is freearisa.com. The other is larkspurdata.com, and one that I know a little about, judydiamond.com. And if you go to judydiamond.com, the last I'd seen, they did have a 30-day free trial offer. What it does allow you to search for businesses in your area. I think Free ERISA is very, very similar to that. But again, these give you the companies that have those plans in your area. I like the 30-day free trial because you get to see what it can offer you if it's worth pursuing in your particular area. But these would be some ways to at least get some contact information for companies and learn a little bit more about them, and perhaps it could lead to a string of employees that need your help. All right, so turning now to in-service withdrawals, and in-service withdrawals is another opportunity in the 401k market. They're called age-based. They also are called age-based in-service withdrawals, and what this means is that it allows the employee to withdraw funds from an employer-sponsored qualified plan while continuing to work and contributing to the plan. And this withdrawal, if completed as a direct rollover, can allow actively working employees, typically they're age 59 and a half or older, to purchase an IRA annuity without incurring income taxes or penalties. Okay, now, again, this does say usually 59 and a half or older, but I know from personal experience, there are plans that allow prior to 59 and a half to take advantage of the in-service withdrawal. So again, we don't want to prejudge that they have to be that age, but that's typically what it is. Okay, so some advantages of the in-service withdrawals would be maintaining control over your retirement funds, expanding your investment choices, or offering a better fixed-only option. Again, cannot lose principal. There's no fees or expenses. They can participate in the growth of the market without downside risk, and that would be a fixed indexed. They have 100% control of the account, and again, they have choice of a rider. So it's the same opportunity, but utilizing the retirement money in a more expanded way, which is they don't have to be retired or have to have left an employer. They can be still actively contributing to the plan, but may want to, for whatever reason, direct it out to an IRA of their own to complement the 401k. So who are people that are eligible for this? Well, participants must meet certain requirements. The guidelines may include a minimum age restriction, again, usually 59 and a half. There may be a length of service requirement, which is often 2 to 5 years, or both. The plans often limit withdrawals to vested employer matching contributions, plus earnings, as well as rollovers and earnings from previous employer plans. So That could open this up to become a big rollover if someone has in their plan a prior rollover. So again, we don't want to overlook this, the in-service withdrawals. So which plans can permit these? Well, there's profit sharing plans, 401k plans, employee stock ownership plans. It can also include cash balance, target benefit, and money purchase plans. They may also permit this type of withdrawal. All right, so some rules and potential issues that should be considered. Excuse me. Companies may impose penalties, including charges and suspension of plan contributions. So that's something you want to make your clients aware of. Asset liquidation may result in penalties. And loans may be allowed in employer retirement plans, but they are not allowed in IRAs. So we want to make sure that that's a question that's asked when we're dealing with the in-service withdrawal, because once that money is transferred out to an individual retirement account, there's no way to borrow from it anymore. Okay, so what steps are involved here? Well, it's really quite simple. First, you want to have your client contact the Human Resource Department plan administrator, whoever that might be. Maybe it's a pension administrator. I don't know what they're called, but you would be through the HR department, and they would want to determine, does the plan allow this, and are they eligible? So you want to have them ask this question: can I take an in-service withdrawal? So if yes to both questions, the next ones would be, okay, so which assets are eligible? How much can be withdrawn? Does the plan impose penalties, including suspensions or deferrals of company contributions for this withdrawal? And what are the processing requirements and distribution timelines? So once those questions are answered, the next step is to discuss options for a transfer to an individual retirement account. All right, so as you can tell, clients do need our help. The movement of money from a retirement plan to an individual retirement account is very simple. However, there are some key questions that need to be asked, and the vast majority of 401k rollovers, for example, today, usually involve paperwork from the current or previous employer, I should say. So that is one of the key questions that they want to verify is, of course, what paperwork is involved. And that's not just with the in-service withdrawal, but I'm talking about a rollover of, because of retirement or moving to a new employer. And so, again, there's some key questions you want to ask. You may have experienced this, but we see a lot of 401k rollovers that come through our brokerage, and the vast majority of them either require paperwork or a phone call. They rarely accept transfer paperwork from an insurance company, but it's making sure we find that out and the process to make that a smooth transition for the client, because, again, most of them don't do this every day. So they get rusty. They don't know what questions to ask. And our goal is to help them transition that retirement money to the product that fits their needs, and do that as easily as possible. So again, we want to educate them. We're here to guide them, and we want to find a product that meets their objectives without incurring any penalties or tax consequences as much as we can. So with that, I appreciate your time today. And if you do have a question that I haven't answered here on the webinar, something you'd like to know more, If you are working on a particular case right now, an annuity possibility, whether from a 401k or not, certainly give me a call. I'll be glad to help you. But if it is a 401k or a pension rollout, please let me know how I can help you, or your annuity marketer that you work with now. Again, we've dealt with a number of companies, but by no means do we know what each one will require, but we can certainly guide you and find out for you. Again, we want to brand ourselves as the experts in this market so that we can increase our business. And if we can do that, we all make money. So thanks again for your time today. I appreciate it. If I can help you in some way, feel free to give me a call. And you have a great Thursday.